Yo guys, what's going on? This is Tony here with a global tournament video. I realize I am a little bit late, as it is currently only 1 day, 7 hours left, and this video is probably going to be about 12 more hours until it's actually released. So it's probably going to be about 20 hours left in the global tournament. But ideally, if you do want to finish well, you want to wait to the last day. So I hope you guys are currently waiting and have not started yet, or at least have not gone. If you're trying to push like top 50. You are below or around 20 wins at this point, as I am. As you can see, 20 and 1, pretty good. I'm going to be going over the replays that got me up to 20, so 2019, 18, 17, maybe 16, I don't know, just all those games. Really not too difficult matchups, or like hard against, like, I should say not the best players, but they also could be alts and stuff, so kind of hard to tell, but here's the deck. You guys know it by now. You've seen it before. It's kind of my main deck this season, with the new Skeleton Dragons. Obviously, or not obviously, but I really can't run freeze in this meta because you need the Fireball to kill the Skeleton Dragons. So that's why you guys really haven't seen much freeze out of me. So anyway, this is the 20th. We'll go, okay, 19, 18. We'll start. We'll just start here against this Ghost player. Interesting deck. Actually, not the best matchup, so we're just gonna hop straight into it. But yeah, the Inferno Dragon is very hard to deal with. Even though I do have Zap and NATO, still it can be difficult. But luckily this guy didn't really have a good win condition, so it wasn't too hard to defend or anything. But he goes guards at the bridge. Inferno Dragon. I'm pretty sure the reason I didn't Zap is because normally guards are ran in like Sparky decks. Well, I mean, first of all, they're not ran in many decks, but they're ran in literally Sparky and Lava. And they're very rare in Lava. I mean, they're very rare in both. Like, guards are kind of dead nowadays, but you just both those matchups you want to save your Zap. So anyway, he Tesla'd on the other side, so I was like, okay, I'll just ignore this miner, go for a big push, and then he put the Inferno Dragon and the Firecracker. So I was like, okay, we'll try to snipe the Firecracker with the Skeleton Dragons. Unfortunately, the Tesla got my way, so I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. So I had a NATO. The Dark Prince back. I believe it actually does get the charge shot. Actually, no, it does not, which is very nice. So we're down about 800 damage. He goes guards again. I'm like, oh, I just don't have a good play. So not fun there. But I'm forced into barbsing. I hate that word, barbsing. But I go with the Loon as well to support. He goes for a miner on defense and another Inferno Dragon. So I'm like, God. I finally get a Loon drop at the very least. I almost get two. Also, I reset the tower there. So my barbs live a little bit longer, get some good damage. And we are already basically in the Fireball Zap NATO range, I think. I don't know. But unfortunately here, we miss our Fireball. I got greedy. So basically, I didn't miss everything. I tried to hit the Firecracker, the Dark Prince after the shield popped, and the Inferno Dragon, but I missed the Firecracker. But the both I hit correctly, like the Dark Prince and the Inferno Dragon. But anyway, so I'm like, ooh, this kind of sucks. He's got a lot of health in that other tower. I don't exactly want to, I don't like spending all my spells there, but I'm just going to defend for now. I'm kind of thinking like, oh, where do I go with my lava? I decide because he has Inferno Drag and Tesla that I'm not really going to be able to just send a Loon down the lane to get death damage. I'm going to have to go for the entire hand. So I go Inferno Dragon and Zap on defense to kill his Inferno Dragon. I have to take that tower. NATO away the Dark Prince and Firecracker. It's kind of looking just like sus, it's not going too well. But I go for a Loon to kill the Tesla. Like I said, I have to take this tower. I finally get a Fireball, a good Fireball, that kills everything. He's got a Dark Prince coming in. I'm like, oh god, I have to use my barbs here. He has Miner. This could be the end really soon. A couple Miner poisons, and then like some logs in there as well, and we're dead. But he goes for the Tesla like early, so I knew it was out of cycle, which is why I hounded again. And he goes for a Miner. I'm like, I have to immediately defend this. So Skeleton Dragons, unfortunately, getting hit by the Firecracker. But yeah, we got the Lavaloon going in. He has another Tesla, a great Inferno Dragon from my part. The whole Tesla dies without getting a singular hit on my balloon. I tanked the King Tower with the barbs and the Inferno Dragon with the barbs. That was a huge barbs placement. I tanked everything. Too many units for him to deal with, and that is the game. So really strong game one. I kind of had like a rough, I almost said start, but it was kind of like the whole of a single elixir, but then I kind of started coming back in double. But I don't know. It was a sus game. I'm not gonna lie, but we got the dub in the end, which is important. Next up, we got a Prince Mega Knight deck. He's got Skelly Barrel, Wizard, Minions, Poison. I mean, he's got a lot of air counters. It's not too easy of a matchup at the very beginning. He goes Skelly Barrel. I'm like, oh, not really ideal, but luckily Skeleton Dragons deal with Skelly Barrel fairly well. I mean, look, literally one hit, so not a big deal. He went for a zap. I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys saw it, but he went for a zap on my Skelly Drags and then Minions. I went for a Loon in front, and for that reason, I take his entire tower. So he's got the bandit coming down. I'm like, okay, this is just a NATO of the king. Works for me. Minions will get a little bit of damage, but I got barbs in the left lane also. This guy's deck is so heavy that he's just not able to defend. I mean, look at my barbs go, guys. That's like basically 2 towers. I zap these skeletons, and we are up a ton. This is a great start. I'm feeling really confident. But going into well, not even going into like anything, but like going into minute number 2, I guess, because we're literally, that was 1 minute of the game and I already took both towers. He throws his Mega Knight. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll Hound same lane. If he has E-Wiz, the Hound tanks. He doesn't. He just has regular Wiz, which, like I said, is weird. But I'm like, okay, this is fine. I can go for an Inferno Dragon. It will shred it quite quickly. Let's see what he's got. So he goes Prince opposite lane. A little bit weird. Goes for the Zap. I kind of expected that. And then we have the barbs to surround the Prince, so that's great. Now, my Hound is basically going to do enough damage to take the tower here. I'm feeling really strong. He goes Minions. I'm like, he doesn't have Elixir for literally anything. So I decide, okay, that tower's going down on the left to the Hound here. I can Balloon, and then with the support of my barbs, I should be able to 3-crown. Because you guys got to remember, in the global tournament, crowns do matter. So, you know, you got to be grinding those crowns. But with a fireball, he gives up. Take the tower. Very fast 3-crown. Very efficient. Kind of cutthroat almost. Just absolutely demolished him. There was nothing he could do. So very strong game 2. As you can see, the Cash vs Bailey clan. We just filmed that little spoiler for what's coming later in the week. But yeah, and then this is the next matchup. Golem Pump, which is actually not the best matchup. I mean, it's definitely not the worst, but the E-Dragon, it can be a problem for my Inferno Dragon. I luckily have the Fireball, but the problem is he's got Pump and Skeleton Dragons, and I want to Fireball both of those, and I really don't have anything for the other. So that'll be kind of difficult. But anyway, so here we go. He obviously, you know, heavy Golem deck. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but his deck is actually quite a it's an actual meta deck. But I lava first play. Always lava first play with this deck. If you guys don't know that yet, I'm sorry. I don't know what you're doing, because I've said it many times, and it really is the ideal play. So anyway, we got the lava going down. We got the loon behind it. Almost always do that. He goes for Skeleton Dragons, I believe. But I think he places them, yeah, he places them on my Hound, which is a little weird. So I'm like, okay, he has no Elixir, I'll go for the barbs. He goes for a NATO back, but it's just not going to be enough. We already got a Loon Drop. Loon Drop number 2 is in. Death damage. Okay, first of all, his Golem got shredded. Death damage from my Balloon's going to basically kill the Skeleton Dragons. I mean, one dies when the other one has 1 health. He goes for a pump. He's throwing all the emotes. He's mad. I have a Fireball also. He is not happy at all. So we're looking really good. I'm up in Elixir, up in tower damage by just a little bit. Cycle a Zap to get that in Fireball range, or Fireball Zap range, sorry. And I'm like, okay, we'll go for another Hound, because Golem's one of those decks that you don't want to play super passive against, because if you play really passive, you're just going to kind of get shredded on defense. It's very hard to defend without applying pressure on offense, so he same lanes with the Golem. I'm like, okay, he doesn't have a Night Witch. I'm completely fine with looning. He goes for a Dark Prince, the first one of the game. I was like, ooh, I don't like that very much. It's kind of hard to kill a Dark Prince with barbs, so gotta make sure you get your placement right there. So barbs just kind of shred there. Got 3 left to help with the Golem. I don't know if you guys saw it the top half, but the Loon was just doing work. Skelly Drags on defense to help clean up if he tries to rush with his Skelly Drags or something, but they're going to die anyway, so we're looking really strong here. I think I cycle another Zap on his right tower, and I'm like, okay, we'll just Hound again. Like I said, you got to keep applying pressure. So he's like, okay, I'll Golem. That's fine. And so I start my Loon up. Now this is where it gets tough because this Inferno or this E-Drag of his is super hard to deal with. So I get my Inferno Drag started. Yeah, you can see I say wow there because I didn't know that he had the E-Drag. But we're going to start our Skelly Drags. The Lumberjack goes in front. We're going to throw the Barbarians to help with the Dark Prince. And then I believe a NATO Fireball will basically clean up everything else. I mean, we take a little bit more damage. Actually, no Fireball, just the NATO Zap. We're going to give up the left tower. That's not a big deal. Support with a Loon to make sure that he can't pull anything sneaky on us, get the dub. More Skelly Drags as a safety net. And that is another good game. I mean, wow, guys, that Lumberjack there just got absolutely shredded. So, another good win. I'd say that one was pretty dominant. I mean, I was kind of looking low, but at the same time, his King Tower had 1,500, so really strong there. Now, this was a rough one, boys. I mean, look at it. You guys know it. It's Expo. Expo is such a difficult matchup for Lavaloon. You gotta play really defensive. Split your barbs every single time they Expo. If they outcycle, you can zap it and try to get barbs down. You can't let it lock. You gotta basically play very passive. Wait for them to go over aggressive, or like go for like a rocket cycle, and then you just gotta go in hard. Wait for them to make a mistake. If they don't make a mistake, no offense, you're probably not gonna win. But pray they make a mistake. They're not a great Expo player. That's what I mean. Just you can see, I'll do it here, this replay. So he throws the good luck. So nice guy, but Expo player, so we hate him. But yeah, I have Hound in hand. You guys know what to do. Actually, no, wait. I don't know if I Hound. Okay, I do. Okay, I Hounded even with that hand. So I mean, I'm telling you guys, Hound every time. He goes Expo opposite lane. Not a good play on his part, but I have to defend it because I don't have Loon. So if it's 2.9 and I ignore that Expo and go for like Skelly Drags behind my Hound, I lose. So he goes Tesla. I'm like, this isn't great. I don't really have anything. So let me just throw the Fireball, kill the Tesla, try to get a little bit of damage with my Hound here. I mean, half a health Hound, not bad. He throws an Ice Wiz. I'm really, I actually end up NATOing it away. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can get some damage on the right. I realize that I'll take some damage on the left in the Ice Wiz, but in Expo mirror matchups, you just gotta take some damage sometimes. So we forced out a NATO with our NATO, but in the end, I think it was worth it just to cycle back. He goes for the Expo, I forgot what it was called, and I go for the Barb split, and then I go for the Loon. Looking back, should have been Inferno Dragon, but luckily our Loon gets a drop with the smallest amount of health. Unfortunately, the Expo locks for about another 300 damage. Now, this is not looking good, obviously. I mean, look, we're down 700. And the NATO is useless in this matchup, or basically. I mean, there's a couple things I can NATO. It's just not really worth it. Obviously, you can't NATO the Expo or anything, but I'm like, okay, at least I have a little bit of an elixir lead. I'm going to Hound. So I Hound. He doesn't have Expo in hand, which is very nice. He goes for a Tesla. So I'm kind of, I'll Skelly Drags. He doesn't have Fireball. I can apply some pressure. Skelly Drags make this matchup at least a little bit better. And I'm like, okay, well, Fireball. That's fine. I try to hit the Tesla in the night. A little too late. Miss it. That's all good. But at this point, when he throws that Ice Wiz, I'm like, wait, I can NATO it. And now he has nothing. He basically has to rocket here or NATO. He goes for the NATO. It's just not going to be enough. I mean, look. I honestly thought he was going to rocket, which is why I Looned. Because if you take a tower versus Expo, I basically let that left tower die by doing that play, but I confirm that I got one tower, and you guys will see. Once I get one tower, he's dead. There's nothing he can do. Okay, so I go Barbs aggressive. I go for the win here. I play it really aggressively because I know he has to rocket, so I'm trying to get him to spend too much on defense that he can't rocket. We end up failing it. I'm like, that sucks. He ends up expoing it instead of rocketing. I'm like, that's fine. We'll just throw a Loon. He goes Tesla, kind of reset. I try to get him to spend a little bit of elixir. Luckily, Tower lives with 9, which is very nice. He has to log it. 2 more elixir he doesn't get to use. I'm like, okay, Expo's out of hand. This is not a bad situation. We should be fine. But I'm like, okay, I could probably Hound here. He's clearly setting up for defense. If he can't really Expo, I have Barbs and Zap if I somehow mess up the timing. But I see an Ice Wiz. I'm like, okay, I'll Fireball it. We catch the Tesla. Super nice. I zapped as well. I don't know if you saw it. He wastes the rocket on the Inferno Dragon. That's another big thing. Lava Inferno Dragon pushes are very strong because it forces them to use their rocket a lot of the time when they don't want to. And when they have to use their rocket like that, it doesn't go well, because then I have the loon, so it's very hard to deal with both. I mean, obviously they have the NATO, but they have to take a drop. So one drop can win you the game, and then you can just play very defensive. Almost get a prediction fireball in the Tesla, but I'm just cycling fireballs at this point. Like I said, once I take one tower, there's just nothing he can really do. There's just nothing he can do. So, I think I split like Skelly Drags. Yeah, okay. I guess not split, but at this point, guys, with barbs, look at these barbs. He finally goes for an aggressive Expo. Barbs, and then a fireball. That's all it takes. Whole Expo is dead. And I mean, it's so brutal. It really is. I kind of feel bad somehow. I'm kidding. No, I don't. It's an Expo player. But Loon, he goes for a NATO. He's still trying. I'll give him that much. But I've realized at this point, all I need is 2 fireballs and a zap. So we're gonna throw the next fireball. Split our barbarians. Skelly Drags are on it. The Expo at least. And I'll just Loon on top. Get the drop. It didn't really matter even if he NATO'd it away in time. It was getting death damage. I zap, throw the Skelly Drags, and we are back to the last fireball to win the game against that hard counter. You just gotta force out a one. I said one bad misplay. I think it was a Tesla in that game, and then you just go in hard. Or no, it's the Ice Whiz. Yep, but good dub. We'll take it. Play the 2v2 there. You can see added a friend, but this is the last one. This is our 20th win. You guys, I mean, I don't know. You might not know the matchup, but Lava versus Graveyard. It's extremely easy for the Lava player. You will see why. I even play bad at the beginning, and I still easily come back. So I Lava first play. He's like, okay, great, Lava. I have to go Graveyard, Baby Dragon. I'm like, oh, that's not ideal. So I throw my Barbs. Barbs, you guys will see here. Well, okay, I placed them bad. I didn't even place them bad. Just the Baby Dragon splashed onto my tower, which is kind of me placing them bad. Looking back, Skeleton Dragons might have been a better option, but I don't know. Anyway, Inferno Dragon on offense. I'm like, okay, well, if he's going to go super aggressive, I can do my Inferno Tower. He has nothing for it. I force out a poison. I NATO'd his Inferno, or his Ice Whiz. And my Lava Pups will all live with the smallest amount of health. I mean, look at that. Or not the smallest, but like enough that it takes 2 shots to kill them, which is so good. So I go for a Loon. Looking back, not the best zap here, because he was going to NATO this either way, so just not a good idea. He was literally going to use that NATO either way, so I just burnt 2 elixir. But luckily, like I said, Graveyard, super easy matchup. I'm down like 400, technically, although I have damage on both sides. But it's still, I mean, you guys are going to see, there's really nothing they can do. It's almost mean. It's just brutal. I split my Skelly Drags just to clean up here. And with the Skelly Drag split like that, that means that I can Lava, because I'll have enough time to get Elixir so that he can't rush me. So it's more of a safety net. By the time he finally, like, the Skelly Dragons are out of his hair, I get to throw my Barbs on the Graveyard. And obviously he had to go other lane with it, which not great for him either. So there you go. It didn't even bring it down to the other one. So he's got the advantage on both towers, but going into double Elixir, it's, spoiler alert, it's gonna be bad for him. There's just really nothing he can do. I fireball the Ice Whiz. That one Barb kills it. The Knight's just not gonna do anything. I think I balloon. Yeah, I balloon same lane, and I think he goes bomb tower. Oh, I zapped the tower. I don't know if you guys saw that. You might want to go back in the video, like 10 seconds. But I zapped the tower, so it reset off my Inferno tower, and the Inferno tower took it. Even if I didn't do that, all I have to do is, you'll see how I defend here. It's mean. It's brutal what I do to him. I just block high with Inferno Drag every time. Throw the Barbs, NATO, and then there's really nothing he can do. I mean, he'll get a couple hundred damage, but in a long run, even if he took a tower, it wasn't going to be enough. Especially if I ever got my King activated, because I have the NATO. So like, if they leave a Knight and they just like let it walk down all alone and don't Graveyard, I'll just NATO it to King, and that'll be the game there. So anyway, that one was a really good matchup, but I'm really happy about like that Ice Bow. That one felt really good to win. But yeah, like I said, 20-1, really strong deck. It works well. I mean, you can play Tombstone here if you want. I prefer Tornado just because of the surprise factor, and it lets you win more or like counter more decks like Golem. Golem's a lot easier with NATO, at least in my opinion. Hog is obviously literally so easy with NATO. There's a couple more. I don't know, guys, but just in general, I like NATO. It just feels like a better tombstone. But yep, like I said, 20-1. We'll see how I finish. If I finish high, maybe I'll make another video for you guys. But for now, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace out.